It's no secret that texting is all the rage these days. Nearly everyone texts, and sadly, phone calls seem to be a thing of the past. But why are we so resistant to speaking to someone on the phone, exchanging information with our actual voices? Experiencing the instant gratification of sending and receiving a text is definitely a part of the way we communicate. But maybe there is a chance that it's about creating distance and lessening vulnerability. Hi, I'm excuse me, having a little coffee in the morning, Mark in the mornings. It's what happens when you're doing live video. So, hi, I'm Mark Renner from Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. And as I said, welcome to Mark in the Mornings. You know, texting, as I said, is definitely a part of the way we live. I've learned a lot from my children and grandchildren. It seems to be their preferred way of communication, even when they're just across the room from each other. I think by doing that, we are losing the ability to communicate correctly and talk to one another, thus distancing ourselves from one another. So let's talk this morning about the reasons to call instead of text. Calling is the best way to share something important. Besides showing up in person, of course, and if you can't be there in person, think about how much cheaper calling is. For only $10, you can spend a few hours on the phone. Taking the time to make a call shows that you care about the other person, that they're important to you, and that what you want to communicate is also very important. Calling is much more personal than texting and is always useful when you need to convey some news to a person you're away from. Calling gives you the intimacy of a real conversation. Hearing someone's voice is always something very special, much more so if you don't get to see them as often as you'd like. Texting could never make up for hearing a dear one laugh at your joke or noticing the smile in their voice when you call them just because. Texting, number 3, often takes the same amount of time as calling. Many seem to think that they'll save time by texting, but all the back and forth can really counteract any efficiency that comes from using our fingers instead of our voices. Depending on the topic of the conversation, it might be better for you to go ahead and call the other person. I know a young woman who rarely texts at all. In her experience, phone calls are almost always superior than texting and also take far less time. Texting is a great way. It's great if you use it for a quick message such as I love you or just thinking about you or honey, please pick up the eggs. But trying to have a long conversation or a complicated conversation through texting is just never a quick and easy task. Calling humanizes our relationships. There's something really special about hearing your friend's voice in real time, especially if he or she calls you first. The intonation, the emotion, and the expression you can experience through calling are lost in the world of texting. Emojis don't count. We often project our own feelings onto the words or make assumptions about how the other person must be feeling when we read a text. It is very common to ask someone out via text message. However, the journey of highs and lows of dating seems to get lost in a text. Phone calls are more professional. Whereas the older generation, and by older, I mean 25 or older, I didn't grow up texting and I had to adapt to it. Our kids have never known life without it. Calling may even be somewhat foreign to them. There's something inherently informal about texting as they grow into adults. We need to help them learn that it's usually more appropriate to call instead of text in their careers. For example, if they venture into the world of business, they won't text clients, they'll call them, as I do. Similarly, they probably won't shoot off a text message to their boss. So let's teach them some phone etiquette and help them understand that calling is often more professional. Calling gives us practice having uncomfortable conversations. Similarly to how phone calls are more professional, they are also a better way to have tough conversations. Face to face are best, but phone calls are a close second. Maybe you're having a problem in a relationship, but your employee is struggling and needs some guidance, or maybe a family tragedy strikes. There's a common saying in the therapy field: lean towards the discomfort, gather the courage, resist any urge to text, and have that conversation on the phone. And lastly, we can better decipher true meaning on the phone. Sure, emojis are cute and fun, but they can never fully replace the natural expressions that come from a human voice. Think about how many times you had a misunderstanding through a text. This happens to most humans because we are projecting and making assumption of someone else's emotions and thoughts and feelings through the words we are reading. Emotions can be hard to read through a text alone, so consider calling instead. Friends, please don't misunderstand me. Texting is great and it's definitely here to stay, so that's important. But we're busy people, and sometimes texting works better for both parties. Still, I encourage you to avoid doing all of your communications this way. Next time you are about to send a text message, think for a minute and ask yourself if perhaps you should call instead. Thank you for watching my video today. I'm Mark Renner. I'm known as Mr. Omaha. I've been voted the outstanding agent in Omaha twice, and I was recently honored by the Board of Realtors as being a legend in real estate. I hope this information today has helped you prepare for the next transition in your life. Even if you do not plan on becoming a client of mine, please feel free to contact me as a resource for more information on how you can get the most out of your real estate investment. In today's market, every little bit of information helps, and I have many valuable insider secrets to share with you. Give me a call today. My phone number is 402-690-1687, and my email is mark with a K, M-A-R-K @markrenner.com. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day and be safe.